Hello, welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be talking about how QuickBooks has just released some brand new features and we can't wait to have a look at them. Days like this are going to be really exciting. By the time this video comes out, we're only a week away from QuickBooks Connect and we know there's some really good features being announced there. To see how cool these features are now is only going to be the tip of the iceberg. I cannot wait. So without further ado, let's go and run that intro and let's get straight into it. Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer, fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, and also head of account here at Boffix. Now in today's video we're going to be talking about some brand new features that have just dropped in QuickBooks and we're going to be figuring out exactly what they're for and how they work. I can't wait for this because some of these features I think is going to be a bit of a game changer. Let's go and have a look straight away at what we mean. Okay, I genuinely didn't want to waste much time on this. I want to get straight into it. As you can see in front of me, that's a standard version of QuickBooks Online, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to be updated for everyone out there. But there's a few things I want to show. So first of all, under the expenses area, bills, it's had a bit of an uplift and we're going to explain and look at that in a little bit of time. And sales and invoice, there's also had a tiny bit of an uplift as well, which we're good to see. And then finally under reports, there's a new view to reports as well. So it's really exciting. Let's crack on with it with the first bit and really explain what it is. So the first one that's come to my attention was all about this bills update. And I think this is the most significant piece. So for me, this is a whole new workflow for how bills is going to work for people, especially if your focus, your primary job is getting bills into QuickBooks Online. I think this is going to be an absolute game changer. So all you bookkeepers out there, I think this is going to be fantastic. So as you can see in the bills there, we now have a for review tab, an unpaid tab and a paid tab. And the key thing is here is now this for review tab gives us some options at the top. And not only are those options at the top, the opportunity for you to add a bill like we've always have done, but we also get to upload from computer. So it's using the technology from Receipt Scout and create bill and create recurring bill. So we've got a lot more options from here. Now I assume create bill and add bill is the same. Let's find out. So if I just add a bill by itself. Oh, I now can't add bill. Okay, so for me to add bill now, that won't just go and create the bill directly there. I do need to go in and press create bill. So yeah, add bill, create bill, same thing. When I add bill though, your other option is upload from computer. So let's go and trial this one out. So in my mind, it's about getting these bills into QuickBooks a lot easier. So on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to PDF this to myself. And I think in fairness, this workflow works better if you've already got the PDF version of it. So imagine you've already been sent it by email or something like that. Then this is going to work really well, isn't it? So for completeness and making it easier here, I've got my iCloud on both my iPhone and on my computer. So on here, I have the option to scan documents, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So scanning documents now. Really straightforward. That, press save. That document's already come through and I can name it. All right, that works quite well. Also for completeness, I've taken a photo of it as well, just to see if I can bring that in. So I've got my to-do folder here and there's my Virgin bill just there. So I can just drag and drop that in as I need to. And now it's been bringing in there. It says up to 5 minutes, but we'll see how that goes. For completeness though, it would be useful to find out if I could still use my QuickBooks app with this part of it. So let me just go in. So remember you got the snap receipt feature just here. So let's just see if this is going to bring this in. So I'm just going to take a capture of this and bring that one in. Press use photo. And that's coming in nicely. So we're going to see if it works by just using the mobile app. That'd be cool if it does. But the other thing I did is we took a photo as well. So if I go into, I got this JPEG here. So let's see if it likes JPEGs. Oh, okay, so it likes JPEGs as well by the looks of it, so that'll be interesting to see. Awesome, all right. So, 3 ways in which I've got data in there then. First one was I uploaded a PDF that I just took off my phone and brought it in. Second one is I just took a photo of it and put that one as well. By the looks of it, both of them seem to be working okay, so it'll be great to see that. And then finally, I have just put it in through a QuickBooks, through the QuickBooks app, took a receipt snap from there. There it goes. I'm just going to let that do its thing for now, and we'll come back to it in a minute. But let's see what else we've got here. Now you'll see in the unpaid option just there, it's going to tell you what is unpaid at this point in time. So this is a nice area. So at any point I can come and see straight away. It's kind of, instead of using back in my suppliers area, I could have done this by just putting my overdue and my open bill just there and brought it down. But that was really just telling me my suppliers. This way, it's actually telling me those individual invoices as they are when they come through. And then I've got the paid option just here, so I can see them in nice supplier format. What I also like about this is, don't forget, is you have the option then to export the data directly from there. And I use that quite a lot, because if I'm going to be utilising a third party to maybe make the payment or something like that, I could use that as a way to make payments. Don't forget as well that in the whole bill area, you do have the option to create a recurring bill directly from here. So this does give you the opportunity to create this on a recurring basis. So if you do have a bill that's continually needs paying, you know, maybe you've got a contractor or something and you know you're constantly going to be paying them and bring it in, you could make the bills recurring there. And handily as well, it gives you the chance to go manage recurring bills, and it will filter directly to bill for you as it comes here. So I quite like that. And I think, again, if you think of this as a workflow enhancement, that's a real great enhancement to people who are just dealing with those bills at a regular basis. Alright, so let's go back. I'm pretty confident they've all been uploaded. Yep, can see stuff's come through already. Now, interesting, there's 3 things here, which is awesome to see. So let's try and figure out where each one have come from. So if I went to my banking area and receipts, Okay, so they are kind of working in hand of one another here. I like this. So just because I've put the items through here also means they've come through from there as well. Now, curiously, they knew that, well, somehow considered that being a bill. Let's take that next step then. Let's do a trusty bill receipt as well. I just want to see if this is going to come through as well. So I'm going to go to QuickBooks. And I mean, we've done this many a time. Let's bring this receipt back in one more time. Press yes. Yeah, looks good to me. And use photo. Now, there's no prompt to say what that is, but actually, interesting to see, and I know we'll put it up on screen. But you can see here that we've actually got all of those transactions are all there. We've got the 3 bills as that PDF. The photo we took and the photo we took there, and then that Yo Sushi one as well. So awesome. Let's see how this is going to interact with us going forward. So it seems like receipt capture and this area are working in tandem with one another. So I'll go back to my bills area, have a look at this one, and let's go through as we go along. So the first one is the black sheep coffee. That was already there, and in fact I'm just going to delete that one because we're not going to be dealing with that today. Now straight away it's telling me it's a duplicate. We like that, so let's click into it. First of all, it's making me review duplicate, so it wants me to kind of see this. So if this was a duplicate, it just gives me the option to delete it, but I want to go and review this. I want to see what comes up. Okay, so for what I can tell, this is my PDF version of this one. This is the one where I was able to upload it. It's locked this down to a bill only, and that's because I created it as a bill, so that makes sense. So it knows that this is a bill. It's found the payee, Virgin Media, already for me, so that's fantastic. The bill date is extracted for me. Due date is extracted for me. Total amount and the VAT is extracted perfectly, so I love that. Descriptions, Virgin Media, it's just taking it from there. It's put it to advertising. Well, not quite, but what can you do? This is where we hope one day we're going to get things like rules and stuff to be able to put that into place. Bill number, it's brought through automatically for me, so it's got that information up there. And in fact, has it got the bill number? Yeah, it has as well. Yeah, not just the account number. And actually, I don't know if you can see, but it's quite a blurry screen as well, but it was able to extract that information, so that's good. And we've got options here to bring in billable expense, which we don't need to use. So let's save and close that one. See what comes up with the next one. So again, it's forcing me to, because it's a duplicate, the first thing it wants me to do is delete it, which is right, but I want to see what it's extracted for me. So this is by using the photo. Now, in fairness, it was cutting off some stuff at the top lot, so we haven't got all the information here. But, so that's why it wasn't able to find out it was Virgin. Understandable, because we didn't give it the information it needs. I mean, technically, could it have found it from the rest of it? Not really, could it? It was right to not know that one. Bill date, again, it's locked it out to a bill, so that's fine. Bill date 20th of the 4th, 2020. Due date 20th of the 4th, £4.80. Everything else is there. It didn't know the category, but it didn't know the payee, so it was never going to know that one. Save and close. All right, final one then. This is one where we uploaded directly from our phone, remember, using receipt capture. So on this one, oh, it's not, again, I missed that Virgin Media one. Interesting. Alright, so what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to give it one more go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my phone. This time, I'm going to make sure I get that top bit. Because ultimately, that's the bit that we need, isn't it? Right, so let's press plus. I imagine it's going to tell me off and say it's a... What do you call it? Use this photo. Let's just bring this down so that we've only got ours, and press crop. That's what we want. Use this photo. Let's see if it can figure out what's needed on this one. And will it put it to telephone? That's what we want to see. Awesome. Right. All right. Interestingly, though, that Yo Sushi one hasn't appeared here because I suppose it didn't know it was a bill. So let's go to our banking area. And, oh, first of all, before we go any further, I'll jump in my unreviewed section. Aaron Patrick's there, only looking last 12 months in fairness to it. Let's extend that. Yeah, awesome. So it's brought those in. So there's those two Virgin Media ones sat there. Basically giving me the option here to mark as paid, view and edit, make a copy or delete. But at any point I can jump into it. I can see that individual transaction, which is this one here. And I have a copy of the receipts there that we've uploaded. That was the one without the what you call it on, which is cool. All right. So this time around then, bills. That is interesting, and I don't know how it knows this, but I took a receipt capture from my phone, and it's automatically appeared here in what, 30 seconds or whatever the time frame was. And interestingly, it now knows that that is a bill, but if I go to the banking area to receipts, the Yo Sushi one, for some reason, has been put to a receipt. So did it notice that that's more of a receipt and not a bill? That bit I'm unsure of. But it's made the decision that that's a receipt, so it's not going into that new bill paid, which is fine. We understand that. But if I put that to bill, though, and just save and close, so I don't want to do the rest of it now, and just wondered then if I went to expense and bills, that's why it appears there. But that's interesting. Now, that isn't actually a bill, so I was wrong to do that. So if I went back to receipts and actually said, no, you know what, you got that spot on, that was a receipt, save and close. Then I go back to the bills area, only the bills appear, not the receipts there, which is right. All right, let's see what's coming through. So again, it wants me to delete this because it's seen this as a duplicate, which we like, good feature. So it's found its payee, it's found all of the things, again, the category wise, it's put the category to advertising. Now, let's just have a look at the supplier, Virgin Media Business, edit, default was never set. So now going forward, I want to put this to telephone. Technically it's internet, but you know what I mean. Press save. Now then, let's see what happens. So I'm going to go to bills, and I'm going to go to review. Now, in fact, it's not a brand new one that's come up, has it? So let's accept this one. Well, no, let's put this to the right place. Telephone. And to stop it keep coming up as a thing, I'm just put today's date as the bill date. And let the, you know what, you can have that, that's fine. Save and close. Right, let's bring another one in, because now that we've updated what we think the default should be, let's see if that's going to be enough. So I'm using the phone. Take a photo. Oh, it cut it out that time, but I can bring it into it. One important thing is making sure that you don't crop out the top bit. If it doesn't see the top bit, it doesn't know what page is going to be. So, uploading document, we'll see how that one goes. But so far what I'm impressed with is it's seeing the difference between a bill and a receipt within your receipt capture. If it's a bill, send it over to this new area. If it's just a receipt, it stays in the receipts area. So that I like. How it knows the difference, that'll be interesting to try and find that bit out. Try and find the bit, well, of how it knows between a receipt and a bill, because I think that's really clever. And what we haven't looked at actually is that source scenario either. That'll be interesting to figure out where it's come from. All right, so at the moment it's bringing information in already there. So what was that? 15 seconds, it's there. Oh, okay, source, file uploaded. See where your bills are coming from. Okay, makes sense. Right. So again, it's asking me for action. Oh, that's a huge shame because it's still wanting to put it to advertising. I've told it a few times it's telephone. I've set Virgin Media to telephone. That, if I could be really nitpicky, that's why I think we need to find better automation there. Again, my absolute dream would be to have some sort of rule system. Every time it sees Virgin, go here, or even give us a chance to split and all that sort of stuff we have in rules. That'd be really, really powerful. But okay, so that bit is coming through. But still, think of the workflow. The workflow is this becomes one of our new areas that we want people to keep clean for us. We want the full review. Then we can have our what's unpaid and all that information come through here. You know, we've got all of that starting to flow through, and I really like it. I think it works really, really well. So that's our new bill area. Let's jump into the sales and invoicing area then. So now we've just got more options. It's just filtering. I mean, look at these filter options we've got now. We've got needs attention. Not sure what shows and needs attention. Maybe it's the overdue ones. But then again, I can do overdue, not overdue, not deposited, deposited. So I've got all these filtering options here. Import invoices was always there. Jump into all sales, and that's what our old view would look like if you remember. So in our new view here, we do have more batch actions than we have had before. So we can send reminder, print delivery notes, so they've all still stay the same. Just more than anything, it's just a different UI, isn't it? Seems like functionality wise we've got the same as before, but it is nice to see them there. And then from a filter point of view here, we've got columns including purchase order. What would the purchase order filter be? Interesting. Not sure 100% what that purchase order is, but there's an option to bring purchase order there. But you've got balance, due date, all that sort of stuff. Show more, custom 1, custom 2. Okay, so that makes sense, doesn't it? That information has been brought in there. And it's just a better filtering system. So more of a UI change than anything else. Again, I'm not 100% sure what needs attention for. Oh, needs attention. I know what that'll be. That'll be if there's an error sending an invoice. So, for example, let's create invoice. Let's do it somewhere we know it's going to bounce. So let's say a customer, and let's say test test.com. I assume that's something that doesn't actually exist. And then the idea would be that if I'd put, I don't know, description £100, leave that on it, save and send. So I'm going to send something I can pretty much guarantee is going to bounce, send and close. Then just continue. And in theory, what should happen is on my dashboard area, when that bounces, I'll get a notification saying it's bounced here. So we'll come back and look at it at the end. And then what I imagine is going to happen on the invoices area is that will be my need attention filter that will come into play there. So that's quite cool. Anything else on here? So no, so it's just more of a filtering area, a bit of a UI update. Very slight and subtle, but we like it. We like it. So let's have a look at these new reports though. So it's not every report that's had an update, but the invoice list is an example of it. And you can see it's borrowing some of the technology from the advanced. So it's bringing that information in. So it's given us an opportunity to have a little bit of an option. If you want to, I can switch back to classic view, and then I can see what the classic view looks like. Although, oops, I can't figure out how to get back to the view one. Hopefully that's not temporary. Let's have a look and get back that invoice list. Or do I need to jump in another client? All right. Oh my God. Right. So yeah, you can jump into your classic view if you need to. But this is our new report view. So let's example what we've got here. The export, and I think this is a good thing here because they've emphasised where that export area is. It's really difficult to find the export area before. It's now not save customization, it's just a save option. And you can save that and you can go into view custom reports there. I suppose you can just edit your name here. So we can invoice list A, save, which I think is a lot better than having that save customization option. You filter one straight away, it's just here, and it makes it so much easier. You've got the options there to bring there. And if you want a custom dates, then the custom dates will appear. You got options to group, so this is how you could do it on things like your grouping options to bring them in. I imagine as well, if you had the option there, you'd have things like months and stuff if you want to have that monthly view, and your filter options there as well. Customized screen though, completely different, and we like this. So we can use our cash and accrual, but then the layout we can move around things as well, and bring it in. Now, this particular view or this particular report, there isn't that many customization options compared to what you'd have on a typical one. So there's not much to do, but we can move things around. We can decide to show it, not show it, bring it in, and we can bring those items around. I don't know why it's had a problem showing it. Well, let's just do last, I don't know, last 12 months. Bring that information in. A lot more data there for us. Entity column invoice repaid, and oh, I don't think they're supposed to be shown. I think they're broken. But those items are there. But yeah, you can see how we can put this information in and move things around. We can group them by invoice date if we want to, by quarter. We could have them into nice quarter. So it feels a bit more like a pivot table, bringing those items in. Let's see what it looks like when we export to Excel or CSV. Okay, so no PDF options, which is interesting. I'm going to open with Excel, and the reports feel different as well. We don't have the name at the top. They've also not come out as numbers, which is a huge problem for people like me. But what I do like is, although I like having the names there, getting rid of the names and putting the first column there will help in terms of data import export. Although with these filters on, it's not great. But they do use the functionality within Excel to be able to make the columns be able to be expandable and not. So if you did want those quarters, because you've got that grouping on, you can then close and bring them open. That's a nice touch. We like that. But not having the name on top, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Because how do we know what client this relates to? You know, unless we can kind of recognise the customer name, it's going to be really difficult for us to decipher that one. So that's a shame. What else have we got here? So export as that or straight to CSV. So that's nice to see you got those options. I wonder, curious to know why the PDF options disappeared. Let's see how it looks from a customised point of view. So we've saved 2 reports here, haven't we? So custom report, invoice list A, custom. So it's giving you a different element there. So that's saying that it's been custom. Okay. And then if I was to edit this, what options do I get? Yep, takes me straight to the customizations I've done, which is what we want to see. Looking good. And if I create schedule, do I get the same options? Ah, okay. So that's a breakdown of the new reports. I like it. I see where they're going with it. It'll bring it more in line with what we've got in Advanced, because there are some much more features in Advanced. And we'll get a consistent UI between both of those products, which is good to see. But we'll see overall how it is. Now, if I'm cashing mine back to when we're looking at the sales area, let's see if that's worked. So we wanted to create a sales area with an error. On the dashboard, if I view my errors, you can see that this email here hasn't actually been sent. It's been a bounced email, which is what we expected. So that should mean then from a sales and invoice point of view, I can go into filters. Oh, in fact, it is popping up straight away. I like this. So it's popping up straight away. £100 needs attention. So I can click on there. That's going to bring that. And also that's that status that goes there. So we like this. This is spraying it straight at the people to know that there's definitely a problem and something needs fixing. So A-okay. And there we have it. What do you think? For me, that whole workflow for having a better way of dealing with bills is brilliant. We really like that one, and that's what we want to be using more than anything else, I think, out of this update. The new filtering system for the invoice, fine, I can see what they're doing. There's no functionality yet there, so I'm more looking forward to added functionality than the UI tweak. But at the end of the day, it probably is going to be something that's going to give them the opportunity to build functionality later down the line. And the new report section, mixed feelings at the moment because it's only for a very select reports, and we are missing some functionality we had from the old report section. So please, 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 let's get that functionality back in first and foremost. But I think once we've got that functionality back, then it is going to be a case where, again, I think we'll start to learn some extra features there that's going to be really useful for us. And I think there's an opportunity for maybe some of the advanced features to trickle down some. I wouldn't expect all of them to come down, but the ability to have some of those new advanced features coming down, trickling down a little bit, would be amazing. And also it will make it less jarring when you're moving from plus or simple start to advanced. You're not going to see that big jump in terms of reporting. So I see what's happening there, and I think that's a good thing. So brilliant. So far, so good. Right. More importantly, though, is what's going to happen next time we have a video, because our next video is going to be all around QuickBooks Connect. We've got a lot of content coming our way. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see what's in store. If these little updates are anything to go by, and what I've heard as rumours is true, we are in for an amazing QuickBooks Connect and some features coming to QuickBooks. So that means the best thing for you to do is make sure that you like, subscribe to this channel. That way you will be the first to know about any new features for QuickBooks. There are some great stuff coming. You do not want to miss out. My name is Aaron Patrick. This video has been an absolute pleasure to do for you. Don't forget to ask me any questions below about anything you've seen here. More questions we get, the more chance we've got of actually maybe doing a follow-up video on some of these features. We're loving these updates. Keep it up and make sure that you'll subscribe to make sure you know when new updates are coming. As always, my name has been Aaron Patrick, and it's been an absolute pleasure to do this video for you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.